If you in there, nigga, I'm ghost.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you want to see the full live stream that this video is from, click the link in the description down below. But before we get into this, make sure you thumbs up and subscribe, and let's get it. If I put someone at C and then they're like, well, this character, you know, what did they do that brought them down? They were just all right. So I wanted to be known, like, if I put someone at Padawan, then they're all right. So Padawan, you're probably not going to be towards the top of Padawan, but you know, we're just starting the list. So Chopper, I'll be honest, I couldn't stand the kid's face. It's nothing against the actor. I just gotta let that be known. Also, Chopper, if we're talking about Rebels, a lot of people like you. I don't pay attention to what people say about Rebels. The only things that I do hear about it is like some of the things that, like, I heard a lot of people didn't like it to begin with. Like, I didn't. Like, for instance, I did not like Ezra this first season. And I started liking him a little more later on. And then he had a fire exit. And then we're going to talk about him in this series. Chopper, I never once liked you. I'm going to be honest. I know it's the funny thing because, like, you're the cursor person, but it was like, we'll ask you for something and then Chopper will just give an attitude. I'm like, Chopper, just do it, bro. Come on, dude. We don't have time for this. We're in a life or death situation. But, you know, he limited his screen time, so we'll keep him at decent. If he had one scene just to show up, or like if he just had that one scene at the very end, I'll put him in good. You know what I'm saying? I still have to go based off what I know of him. This is not his introduction, but Enoch, what did you really do, my boy? But you had a cool little design. I'm gonna have you as the visual representation of the zombie troopers, which was a cool idea. And I mean, honestly, they could have did some decapitations, but it's Disney, I guess. C-3PO, always the GOAT, but, you know, you just had your little screen time, so it is what it is. Hu Yang, I'll be honest, he cool. I don't know if he probably be towards the top of great. We're gonna have to see as we continue with this list. You were cool, but we didn't get anything of you. So, like, and then everyone was, like, theorizing, like, oh, this is Starkiller. Like, no, stop. This is, who else did this? Oh, this is Ezra Possessor. And then this is this person. There's like 5 different guesses. Sorry, it's just a random character. You were in the show, I guess. I mean, you're a decent character. We didn't really get much of you. But, you know, we had some cool fights with him. That's the only reason he's going above you. Hera, you know, she hold it down. I'll put her towards probably the top of good or the end of great. We're going to have to see. Elsbeth, let me see. She was cool. She served her purpose. She had, you know what I'm saying? She had a little decent fight with, you know, she's the one, like, getting things started on the villain side. Thrawn, the Night Sisters or the witches or whatever, things with Ahsoka. You know what I'm saying? If from her point of view, Thrawn said stop them and she only stopped Ahsoka, so that was an L on her part. So that's the only reason I'll put her below Hera. Ezra. That, I don't know, bro. That you were set up for the alley-oop and then you messed up when you said, no, it's your lightsaber. Not even like, you're getting this back after this. I don't want it, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's got to create his own lightsaber later on. But no, we're in the middle of a fight and we're about to get surrounded, but you want to sit there and play, and then later talk about some, maybe we could talk. Nigga, there was no time to talk. You should have took the lightsaber earlier. I'm gonna have to throw you behind Hera. So Hera, I'll just put you right there for right now. All right. Shin. I forgot your name, I'll be honest. Yeah, Hu Yang, let's put you up there. You're a cool little addition. We don't know. This is the highest I could put you up here. Is great. I can't put you in Grandmaster even though you're cool, and then like some other things, but we gotta see what more stories we're gonna get from you. Thrawn, you already know what time it is. Thrawn, he's that guy. I wish his design was. I wish they could have altered it a little more, whether it be like with prosthetics or visual effects. Oh, well, they shouldn't really do that. But if you look, like, think about when they brought the Grand Inquisitor in the Kenobi series, and then I still got these headphones on. Actually, let me keep it on just in case one of these ads decide to make noise. But what was I saying? Oh, in the Kenobi series when they brought the Grand Inquisitor, if you look back at a Revenge of the Sith, when Obi-Wan pulls up on Utapau, when they're being held captive by Grievous, that is the same race, I believe, as the Grand Inquisitor. So what they did in the Revenge of the Sith, especially 20 years later, or almost 20 years later, they could have did in the Kenobi series. Now, whatever they did with that could have gave them practice to what they could do to, tweak the look of Thrawn. Like, Thrawn literally looks like Elon Musk but blue. Balon Scroll, he's a cool stoic character. We don't really get that much of those. And if there's some stoicism, it's kind of more of I'm devoid of emotion Jedi, instead of like I feel a certain way. It's like when he would start a fight, he was kind of like, I'd rather not fight you, but I'll do what I have. Like Obi-Wan said, I'll do what I must. But unfortunately, rest in peace, Ray Stevenson. We're not gonna get much of him, so I'll just put you below. If we were able to get more of you with the same character, and it might be a thing where Chadwick Boseman and we'll kill him off. Recasting is disrespectful. Blah blah blah. You already know how I feel about that. Go check out my Black Panther reaction. I talked about it on there, and also talked about it a little bit with the black man. What the fuck? Yo, Ant-Man and a Wasp reaction. But we don't know if it's recasted. We don't know what this new actor will bring to it, and so therefore, what I'm saying, I can't be biased. There could be many reasons why I like Shin more than you, but I like you more than Shin. But there's hope for Shin's future. Sabine, I'm sorry. Garbage. Oh my goodness. This, bro, you had cool moments, but the characterization, absolute dog shit. If you haven't seen my review and haven't seen my reactions, go check them out. And then the fact that the characters didn't impress you is what made it worse. Now, Ahsoka, in total, she's for sure top 5 my favorite Star Wars character, and probably top 3. Obi-Wan's my favorite. I'm not everything that. Listen, this is how I look at it. everything that is put out after 2012, besides the ending of Clone Wars, because that was started when George Lucas was in charge, and then we'll continue with the same people, but without really George Lucas. I mean, George Lucas wasn't really involved like that, but he was involved. They were just finishing the project. Besides, so basically the first 6 films and Clone Wars, and I'll give the benefit of the doubt. I'll let you have Rebels too. Anything after 2012 besides Clone Wars and Rebels, I view it like you can, if a movie comes out, you can view it as canon or not, like, unless George Lucas says this is canon. So if you don't want to view Rogue One as canon, you don't have to. I view it as canon. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to throw that in there. I say that to say one of my favorite characters in the top 3 is Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I'm not counting the Kenobi series. Ahsoka. Without this series, you're in my top 3. With this series, your position is questionable. You were the 3rd spot. You're probably still in the top 5, but are you still like in the top 3? Now, comparing you to these characters, I'm be honest. I gotta throw you right there. I wanted to throw you in Grandmaster, but then I gotta be like, which characters do I like more? Now, speaking of my very favorite character, we gotta have Anakin. Number 1. It is what it is. Now let's readjust the list a little bit. Boom. 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 Alright, that works like that. Good. I'll be honest. You just had your little scene. Like, if it wasn't C-3PO, like, what purpose did you really serve there? Good. I'll go like that. There we go. That's a pretty good list right there. It's a pretty good list. So, let's go through it again. Oh shit! I gotta change my thing, man. Damn. Hopefully that didn't distract y'all one during this. All right. So, we got Sabine. If we're just talking about Rebels, she'd probably be, like, if we're comparing her Rebels counterpart, right, this is where she'll be if we're comparing her Rebels counterpart against the Ahsoka series. She'd be right there if we're comparing her Rebels counterpart. But, and if we're viewing it in total, so Rebels counterpart helped bringing it up, but unfortunately Ahsoka's series bringing it down, she'd be probably somewhere in this area, decent or A or eh. But just off Ahsoka series alone, that's where you're going right there. Now, you're force sensitive. We'll just put you right there. Sorry, Chopper. I tried to be a little nice. People like you, so I was like, let me let you slide a little bit, but you have to get in that position. Sorry, pause. I can't be biased. Like I said, I can't be biased. Even though we didn't even see your face. No, like I said, you represented the zombie troopers, even though it wasn't, as effective as it could have been. But, you're just really there. I mean, okay, just like you're just kind of there. Your character's decent overall anyway. The only reason you're lower on the decent tier is because, I mean, you were just kind of there for a couple scenes. You know what I'm saying? You're kind of badass, but who the hell was even that? I guess. C3PO. You're my guy. You only showed up for one scene, so is it real? Like, I can't really put you up all the way up. Like, you didn't really have much. You just had basically a cameo. She was cool. But you're just on the lower end of the better characters of the series. Ezra. Now I'm be honest. If we're talking about earlier seasons, Rebels of Ezra, boom. Later seasons of Ezra, maybe boom or somewhere around here. Very, very ending, like last scenes, last episode of Ezra, probably like boom. Ahsoka series, and then Ezra and Toto, probably between and great. Like I don't know where I could put you, but just the Ahsoka series in general, you got to go right there. That scene, if we take out that scene that pissed me off, you'd probably go right there, or maybe right there. Ahsoka. Listen, I know you tried to be very stoic, but like Ahsoka has a little bit of stoicism to her, but she's more like she's, if anyone, yo, this shit flickering, dude. Like, jeez. If anyone was to be stoic after the original trilogy, I'd say like Princess Leia or Luke. Ahsoka. If anything, you could, I don't know, it would have been repeating storylines of having Ahsoka like go to some traumatic things. If we didn't get the Kenobi series, you could have had her kind of on that path where she like went through all this, and we're showing the flashbacks to Ahsoka when she's like more hopeful and during the Rebel days, and like, hey, we can do this. We have to be real careful. She's trying to complete this task. And then kind of, oh damn, Anakin's Darth Vader. And that's kind of eating at her. And then, we start getting a little bit of stoicism, and then we get hopeful Ahsoka again. But you didn't press Sabine. You had to, bro. Like I said in my review, imagine, let's just say we're in the Star Wars universe. Let's say Earth is in the Star Wars universe. We had a big galactic fight. Like somehow, some way we can compete with them. We had a big galactic fight. Peace is almost in the making. We're getting diplomacy going and this, that, and the third. There's a very, very formidable foe in another galaxy, in the Andromeda galaxy. Then some fighters go to like stop some of the loyalists, and they end up failing because someone has an emotional attachment. Oh, and then we'll get to that in this emotional attachment in a second. Then next thing you know, like, you just hearing about this, the next thing you know, let's just say you're able to see what's going on, like you're able to see what's going on with them. Next thing you know, they're chilling like, hey, everything's good now. But you brought the niggas back to the galaxy. Now, attachments. This is another thing. You decided to train Sabine, even though she has this attachment with Ezra that literally is about to cost the Star Wars galaxy. But you couldn't train Grogu. Okay, so unfortunately, like, you have to go down tiers. Like I said, if we're not taking into account this series and we're just talking about if we're just talking about Clone Wars, Rebels, and speculation between those series and the original trilogy and Tales of the Jedi, you're in top 3 for sure. So I don't know, you might have lost your top 3 if we're taking this series into account and we're looking at a total. You might have lost your top 3 spot that maybe like Count Dooku or like Darth Maul or someone like them. You might have lost it. I'm gonna have to think about it. Balon Scroll. Like I said, now if we get a recast and the next actors as good or better in the storyline that they go that we proceed with is fire, okay. You have the potential. You had the potential, but we don't know what it's looking like anymore. But this is a stoic character that makes sense. You were just stoic just to be stoic. He was stoic, and you can like see like, okay, I got it. Goes to fight you, you can see like he's not like, oh, why won't you just leave me alone, or blah blah blah, or he's not not like, oh, I can't wait to get, like, he's not happy to kill you, or like you can see that there's some, oh, I don't really want to do this. This is such a waste, but this is what we got to do. Hera, you're probably the only person who was consistently decent throughout Rebels. Kanan, I didn't really like him, and then liked him more as time went on. Ezra, hated him, was about him, cool, and then went down a little bit when it came to the Ahsoka series. Chopper, never liked him. The only reason he's not at the bottom is because his screen time was limited in this. Sabine was pretty decent. She had times here and there where I'm like, Sabine, chill out. Times where I'm like, yeah, Sabine. And then when she got to this series, she just straight nosedive. You just been completely good over around, but you probably, if we got more time with you, or you're like more, like let's say we got less of him, less of C-3PO, less of, I don't know, less of whoever, and a little more of you could have been maybe right here or maybe up there, but you know what I'm saying. And when you cast baby girl, you know what I'm saying, she looking good. Speaking of looking good, Shin. Now, this could change. This is, like I said, with the potential. You can potentially have good storylines going later on. But we're going to have to wait and see for that. But, you had a cool presence. Decent little backstory. And they didn't make the mistake of, oh, hey, here's Reva. Here's her backstory. Here's more of her backstory. You want Obi-Wan Kenobi? No. Reva's backstory. Like, relax. They just like, okay, here's her backstory, sprinkled a little bit. Oh, here's a couple lines of dialogue. You can fill in the blanks. Okay, you filled the blank right there correctly. Actually, what they meant right there was this, and okay, blah blah, and that's her story. Like, through the whole series, maybe 5 minutes, and it was enough to get it. Like, a minute here, 30 seconds here, 2 minutes there. Like, it was nice and concise. Cool. Cool design. She looked good. But just because you look good don't get you up to the great and, best slot. Hu Yang, you know what I'm saying? He cool. That's the homie, man. Listen, I only seen besides season 7, I only seen Clone Wars 1 once. Was Hu Yang actually, was there multiple droids with creating lightsabers? Was Hu Yang actually the one from Clone Wars? I'm not sure. But even if that is, that just even adds to it. But he's able to give some backstory that actually makes sense, and is able to talk about characters that other characters like couldn't talk about. Like Balin Scroll, he can't really tell anything about Anakin that Ahsoka wouldn't know. Hu Yang probably could. Hu Yang, listen, I seen him when he made his lightsaber, and then when he made his other lightsaber because he broke his first one in Attack of the Clones. Thrawn, that's my guy. Now I'm gonna be honest. He's one of the ones I didn't think would make. He's in my top 5, probably, maybe. He's in my top 10 for sure. But I did not expect it. Like, I did not expect him to be in there. Like, when they bring stories from, legends and stuff like that, it's not really that big of a deal to me. Like, for instance, was it Dark Empire? Wherever the one Palpatine comes back. Now, I haven't read it, but from what I'm not really a Palpatine person, but like, there's just certain things with I'm not even going to get into that, but that I'm like, I wouldn't really like that. So when you have Thrawn coming in, I'm like, I might not like it. The only person that I'm probably like, oh, if I know more about them, I like it. Probably like Darth Revan. What the fuck? Darth Revan. And yeah, that's probably it. That's probably the only one where I'm like, I probably like them. If they, if they made a live action series or movie and it was actually to the best of, it was actually good, I'd probably like him. Like someone like Darth Nihilus, like from what I heard, I'm like, it kind of might make the canon a little messy. I don't know if I'm really messing with that. But yeah. He's one that is number 1 post Disney getting Star Wars. Animated, I'm not really big animated guy. Like, if Clone Wars was live action, that's why like I was so lit when it came to seeing, speaking of Anakin right there, in the Clone Wars get up, because it's like, for instance, if you go back and look Nick Gillard and look at like how the Palpatine fight was supposed to be, I'm like, that's lit. I want to see the like, okay, you can, Palpatine versus Darth Maul and Savage Opress. Okay, it's cool, but like it can't really, like, if I'm making a top 10 list of best lightsaber fights, I'm sorry, if it's not live action, it's not to the same effect for me. So being introduced to Thrawn, and he started off, animation. I was kind of like, everything was saying I'm not gonna like this, but then I liked it. Then get into this one. Besides the design, what I talked about a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like the voice actor, and it's the same actor. You know what I'm saying? He's that guy, man. He's that guy. And speaking of that guy, it's the guy, the sky guy, Anakin. Now, Anakin / Darth Vader is my favorite character in Star Wars, and most definitely top 5, if not top 3, maybe 2 or 1. It's probably not 3. It's probably like 2 or 1 of my favorite characters of anything all time. And getting to see him like navigating through light and dark, getting to see the little transitions, like, that is, that's some good filmmaking right there. That's some good filmmaking. Like, I'd probably do it myself in the future if no one has done it, or if I can't get anyone to do it for me until then. But if I like show my kids Star Wars, I'm showing them the original trilogy. When it's Order 66, I'm getting every single bit of like footage from Order 66 and throwing it in there. I'm getting little bits and pieces of Kenobi series, Clone Wars, Rebels, and I don't know how this is going to turn out. So if this turns out good, I'll show them the best parts of Ahsoka, the best parts or whatever comes next. And yeah, but yeah, seeing him go, and then, especially seeing him in the World Between Worlds. Yeah. Now you could make a debate of, oh, I said, who? C3PO wasn't in it that long, but like his impact on the story wasn't even in that little bit. Anakin took up half an episode. C3PO took up less than a quarter of a scene. So not only does he not have that much impact on the story, like literally any character could have done what his character did. Not every character could have done what Anakin did. And he had way more screen time. But let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Thumbs up, subscribe, stay tuned for the next one, and I'm out. Peace.